breaking coming in. Congress now all set to hold a Satyagrah in front of the ED office across India on June 13th. This is the big news that we're currently tracking, with Rahul Gandhi now being summoned over the National Herald case. Here's the Congress party that decides to carry out a protest right outside ED offices across India. In Delhi, all MPs and the CWC members to march to the ED office. Remember, here Rahul Gandhi he's trying to gather clout against the ED summons on him. Rahul Gandhi has been summoned in the National Herald case. Here the Congress leader now all set to hold a Satyagraha in front of the ED office across India on 13th of June. The day that Rahul Gandhi is summoned, that's the day that Congress netas and members across India are going to be present at the ED office protesting against the ED summons that Rahul Gandhi has received. Remember, we're looking at Rahul Gandhi, who skipped, or rather asked for more time to appear to those summons that the ED had sent out. In fact, here Rahul Gandhi now, who should be ideally appearing and adhering to those summons on the 13th of June, the Congress party throwing its clout behind Rahul Gandhi, and they're all set to carry out Satyagraha in front of ED offices on the 13th of June, the day Rahul Gandhi appears for his summons. Clearly, we're looking at the Congress now preparing for a major show of strength in the national capital on the 13th of June, when Rahul Gandhi will be appearing before the Enforcement Directorate in connection with a money laundering case. This is the National Herald case where allegations of money laundering has been leveled against the Gandhis. Rahul Gandhi to be adhering to those summons on the 13th of June. He will be appearing before the Enforcement Directorate. And meanwhile, the Congress is already preparing to show a major show of strength, to stage a major show of strength where they're going to be gathering outside ED offices across India. In fact, in Delhi, all MPs as well as the CWC members are set to march towards the ED office. Remember, we're looking at the Congress party now trying to gather strength and back Rahul Gandhi unconditionally. Here's a money laundering case that the Enforcement Directorate is probing into, and Rahul Gandhi has been asked to appear to record his statements. Along with him, even Sonia Gandhi has been called in. She is in fact sought time, considering she's COVID-19 positive. She sought about 3 weeks' time to appear before the Enforcement Directorate. But Rahul Gandhi, who was abroad, is now back. He sought more time. He sought more time, pushed it to 13th of June. And while he's set to be appearing before the Enforcement Directorate on the 13th of June, the Congress party decides to strategize and throw their weight around Rahul Gandhi, entirely, fully backing him. They will be carrying out Satyagraha right in front of ED offices across India. Here is the Congress all set to march, the Delhi ED office particularly, along with the CWC officials. They will be present outside the ED office. All their MPs and CWC members outside the ED office will be, of course, condemning the summons that Rahul Gandhi has been issued. Remember, the party plans to take out a huge march right outside the ED office in Delhi and other cities as a show of strength, backing Rahul Gandhi in this case. In fact, this is certainly a huge setback as the Enforcement Directorate now probes into the National Herald case, allegations of money laundering against the Gandhis. Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, both of them have been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. The ED now probing into money laundering allegations. They're going to be trying to see what kind of involvement do the Gandhis have in this case. This is certainly an old case which the ED has now pulled up and is investigating further. The Congress party has so long called this vendetta politics, saying that the case was closed long ago, and now this has been opened up in deliberate attempt to tarnish the Gandhi family and the Congress party. These are, of course, justification, the kind of justification that the Congress party members are giving out, but the entire party now decides to hold a dharna, a protest, right in front of the ED office. On the same day, Rahul Gandhi will be appearing appearing for questioning at the ED office in Delhi. They're going to be holding a huge show of strength, protesting against all ED offices across India. The Congress now plans to throw their weight behind Rahul Gandhi unconditionally.